when this producer asked me to take off that picture, my eyes were red. Eyes were red not because of what he said, but because I was just thinking, if only we knew what we had. If only we knew what we had. Because even as I'm saying this, there are many people watching at me. I'll say, but he's not God. He's not God. Yeah. These men of God out there that you see them, they are not God. And they can never be. They can never be God. I can never be God. You yourself, you can never be God. And that's why we have weaknesses. We have shortcomings. But if you know that there are certain grace, that dimensions, grace, potentials that the Lord have put upon this person, and if the person is rising, this one is rising. You know, there's one thing that we have to know, no matter how many or how numerous church leaders and pastors are, there's one thing that will always remain. The laborers are few. You should not forget this. The laborers are few, but the harvest is much. The laborers are few. No matter how many you see them, and now I'm knowing that they are few. You know, you especially those that will cause impact. If you see people that can leave impact, we are supposed to summon ourselves instead. Make groups, not groups to speak against, but groups to pray. Groups to pray for those people that are leaving impacts. If you see, especially for this nation, especially for this continent, if this person, especially on the Christian race, if this person is leaving an impact, then instead we need to pray. We pray because they have weaknesses. You see shortcomings because they are not God. But God have to use someone. That is the point. That is what you should know. When you're opening your mouth to say these people are not God. No, they are not God. You are not God. Remember that they are not God, but God has to use someone. And that someone can be you. That someone can be me. And if you see that God is using this person, but you are seeing a shortcoming, you are seeing a weakness, the only thing for you to do is to pray. Say, God, bring him to his senses and preserve this grace. Because if he's gone, he's gone. If he's taken away, he's taken away. There will never be anyone exactly like that person. There will never be anyone with a dimension like that person. There will never be anyone with that grace and impact like that person. It will work differently. That's why I repeat, I say spiritually we are different. We are different. No one can replace anyone in their dimension and in their grace. They can only invite you or take you to this grace side and give you part of it. And even when you start functioning, you function differently. And every grace and impact has an effect. Any grace and impact has an effect on the global plan of the Lord. And this is what should be our quest. Our quest should be the global plan of the Lord. They are not God. They themselves have never stand anywhere and declare that they are God. Why are we insinuating that? They are not God. But remember, God has to use someone. He has to use someone. This will be a lengthy video. Let me just say this from the beginning because I'll be sharing some deep things. And in this video, we will know that things are no longer the same. I notice, I discover that things are changing very fast. And it's just that, especially if you're dealing with business that is privately owned, maybe you will not know this. But when you start working in some hierarchies, okay, you understand that things have changed and they are changing drastically. It's as if you will not get things the same way that you used to get them normally. You have to start passing through some kind of process. And I also discovered that different religions, they have started building up their backup plans for these end time eras. For this end time era in order to, I don't know, is it to populate or to explode their to grow their or to make their religion more popular. And I also see that the only ones that are left out of this picture, the born again Christians, we are not developing this strategy. And the earlier we do this, the better. If we don't develop this strategy for end time plan, the end time will be made up of few Christians. I'm telling you this because now you can only see it in some hierarchies, but there will be time that these will be everywhere. There will be time that these will actually be everywhere. Now let me go deep into what I'm talking about. We have this organization. It's like a part-time job for me. You register to become a part-time actor or actress. These are very big movie producers, big movie producers connected to Hollywood and all that. They are very big producers. So they'll send in their script, and so you just tell in that you're interested. When you're interested, they'll send you a short script for you to act that short script. So if you're recommended or accepted or approved for these short script, then the second stage is that you send in your passport or anything linked to you can send in your ID, because they have to pay your flights to different cities that they'll have to shoot the movies, and the hotel dressing and everything will be taken care of by them. And the payment package is really good. The payment package is like $160 per hour, and you'll be doing like three for this particular production. You'll be doing like 3 hours a day, and they'll hire you like for a month, and you can be going from different cities to another. They are taking care of everything. So the package is really good. But just for me tendering in my application the first time, the movie director said, this one with this picture he's talking about, because I was using Prophet T.B Joshua's picture like my profile picture, and I did not put attention to that. I'm someone that I don't pay attention to profile pictures. So because there are others there with profile pictures like shoe, doors, cupboard, flowers. So it makes no sense. They don't get in contact with you but buy a profile picture, right? You have to send in your passport and your ID. So the profile picture is not too important. So I did not pay attention to that. So when they request that I should take off this picture, I do not take it seriously, because I said there are others with shoes. I can see them. Even the one that were close to me, the profile picture was a shoe, a pair of shoes. So why should you insist? So, but the first selection, I was selected, and when it was done on me that this is a serious request. So after the second selection, and I'm among those that are selected, but he now underlined my name and said you have to replace that profile picture. So now I know it's serious. Now I know it's really serious, and I was provoked to reply. I said the one that you're insisting that I should take off his picture, I should replace the picture. He's of late. It's just my way of like a memory of him. He's of late. So now his reply was surrounded with anger, with rage. Let me put it in his own words. I don't give a damn if he's alive or dead. We don't want his face here. I repeat, I don't give a damn if he's alive or dead. We don't want his face here. So that was when it was dawned on me that this is something else. This is something else. And now this is the temptation. I started looking at I said, okay, but it's just a profile picture, nothing. So it's not that too. It's just a profile picture. I'm someone, by the way, I don't pay much attention to profile picture. If you say, I said, okay, I can just replace it with something else. Now, looking even at the package, you're going to make, you're supposed to make around $480 a day times 30 days for 1 month. So the payment package was so good. And I said, okay, It's just a profile picture. So replace the profile picture, and I was enrolled. We went there. We're supposed to be there for a month, but instead being there for a month, it was 4 days. And after 4 days, they said we have to leave. I thought that it was they said among those we that this is a very big movie production. It's a very big movie production. We were shooting bird a scientific movie. So there were the buses that we were in. These are actors or actresses from all over, all nationalities, and these there were like 17 buses, and our bus. I'm talking in the movie. Our bus was hijacked, and we were supposed, and in the running process, you're supposed to pass through a scanning machine that would just be scanning you. This is the movie, and you can imagine what was written on those buses. I will put up some picture of the shooting. I'll put up some pictures so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Now you can imagine what was written on those buses that we were in. United Earth, United Earth, something United Earth. I'll put it up so that you can see United Earth government. You can imagine United Earth government. That was what was written on the, and for 4 days they said no, we don't want, especially those that they are not taking on a full role, on a major role. So you're going to end here. So I was thinking that it's all about those that they're not taking major roles. But at this point, when leaving and we have been paid for 4 days, I discovered that it was only like three of us that had to leave after that 4 days. I don't know if it's the prayer that I was praying there. I was not causing any havoc or riot. You can pray in peace, you know that. But even how much you pray in peace, they will still know you, that you don't belong here. So that is what I'm saying. This is just the beginning of the story. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And that is when I start seeing that things are no longer the same. You don't have you will not be getting things the same way you're getting them. You have to know that you're belonging somewhere. And so this is just the beginning. I was okay with it. So they are paying your return flight. They are paying you for the days that you've been there. And okay, it was okay by me. Although the contract shows that we're supposed to be there for a month, but instead staying there for a month, they dropped it down to 4 days, and I said it's still okay so far as you will pay for the 4 days and maybe extra money for turning down the contract and our flight back to our city. I say it's still okay, but just not up to 2 weeks. So another big movie production came up with another script that they still want actors and actresses. So I think that in it's let me explain. It's like an organization. You register for it, and so it's organization of actor that's people will not that you not take up like a major role. So when they come in with their script, they send it in. So you send in your interest that I'm interested. So with the ones that are interested, they will take down your names and a script will be sent to you. That would be like a demo. It's not that you're going to act by the script. Okay. Now, at this stage, another big production came with their own. It was not even up to 2 weeks. Another big movie production came with their script. So, brothers and sisters, listen to me carefully. Things are changing. I beg, listen to me and understand what I'm saying. Things are changing. Things are changing and they are changing rapidly. Okay? Because it was not like this before. It was not like this. It was not like this. What I'm talking about, these changes just start happening but like 6 months ago. Like 6 months ago. Okay? So now it's not up to 2 weeks. Another big movie production came in with their script. I sent in my sign of interest and they sent a script. this is where the story become more messier. The sending your script for you to go to send in a short acting like a demo, but the script is what I'm talking about. It's just like 3 lines of sentence. You do some acting, but the sentence there is just like 3 sentences, but there is a particular sentence. So I'll put up this sentence here. I'll put up their letter here so that we can see it and understand what I'm talking about. This is not someone else's story. It's my story. It's my story. It's not someone else. It's me. Okay. Hallelujah. So the short script that are sent for us to do a short acting like a demo was about Ebola in Senegal, and you were acting like a Muslim doctor, that the situation is above you. So, but there are only 3 sentences, and let me say out the sentences. And this is not even what we are going to act. No, it's just a short script for you to be admitted into the shooting. So I looked at it. So you have the right maybe to adjust some words if you think so. So I look at these sentences, they are so deep. I said, this is not something that my image will stay there forever. This is so deep. Now I repeat, Amar, these were the words. We have tried our best, and there's nothing we can do. We are from God and back to God. You know what the Muslim they'll put in that word? I have replaced it with God, okay? So you know what the Muslim they'll put in? That was the sentence. So I refused because I looked at it. I said, this sentence is so deep. It's so deep. I cannot do this. But if I have to do it, so. But the package was so good. It was 3 months and the same $160 an hour. And this time is 4 hours a day. So it's more 4 hours a day for 3 months. And you'll be staying for 3 months, feeding and everything. And you'll be migrating from in 6 cities. The flight and everything, dressing, food taken care of for those 3 months. And it's like an upper grade to your it's like an upper grade to your career. It's like improving your profile, your portfolio, should I put it that way? So the package was so good. So I think of a way to go around this. I said, okay, the best thing I can do in this thing is to replace the word with God. So that is what I'll put the statement of there so that you should see. I should replace it with God. So I replace and I say, Amor, we have tried our best and there's nothing we can do. We are from God and back to God. So I sent in the script, the acting, I sent in the script. So I was accepted, but you know the reply. Now I want to read the replies to put it in their very own words. Please just give me some time. Can you see what we were supposed to rehearse? And do you see how they have to underline these and send it back to me? Um, Hallelujah. I want to read this in their very own words so that you should get my point. You have been accepted, but the director, listen, the director wants you to record a performance of that line alone. Oh God. The director wants you to record a performance of that line alone without changing anything. It's not that you're going to do better the script. They have a story that they have made up. It's a scientific movie. It's not related to religion. But look at what they're giving you now as a test or a quiz or a demo for you to be enrolled. You are from dash and back to dash. You have to say that. And That was when I sent a reply that I cannot do it. But I said, no, I cannot do it. But I was so broken. I was so broken down because I was asking questions like, so we don't have Christians with this kind of production, in this production system that they can favor us to this way. So we don't have Christians that will come up with projects like this. It actually taught, it was like a sword in my spirit, because I know that these are times that we need to come up with backup plans like this. We need to come up with backup plans like this. Instead, we are there. Even if I want to talk about Prophet T.B Joshua this way, there's some people that, oh, he's not God. You should not talk about his. Yeah, these men, they are not God. And that's why they have weaknesses. And that's why they have shortcomings. That we need to intercede instead for them. We need to pray for them. We need to pray for them so that, because you know that there are graves. Spiritually, we are different. There are graves upon their life that is needed for this continent, that is needed for the world. If only that grace is there, we pray for it, it will be preserved. Your own grace, you need prayers too. That your grace in you will be preserved. My grace will be preserved. And together we can make up something. But if we are divided, we cannot do this. We cannot do this, brothers and sisters. We need a wake-up call. We need a wake-up end-time call. The system is changing. And if we continue like this, then the end time will be made up of few Christians. I'm telling you this. Things are changing. Now they are located only in some hierarchies. And some people, they don't even know about this. But there's a time that it will be global. And if this finance is being controlled this way, there are times that you will not have anything to do rather than to yield in. Just look at that sentence. How minute it might seem, but the sentence is deep. We are from and back to. You have to say that. Then you'll be admitted. Even after you have been selected that your acting is okay, then you have to say that. Remember, say the director wants you to perform that line alone. That was when it was done on me. That we will no longer get things before as we used to get them. And that's why I'm begging and calling on Christians. We need to start trying to build up a system for end time. A backup system. I call it a backup system. A backup system that can control our finance. Or else, it looks so, as I'm saying these words, they are so light, but they are so big. I don't know those that have been able to see this or notice these in their workplace or in some areas. The reason that I was so quick to reject this offer was because I've learned my lesson from before. So the reason why I was very quick to say no to this offer was because I've learned my lesson from the past. My former boss, he's a Buddhist. So there was one time he invited me he said a picnic. So I was thinking maybe we were going to a park or something like that. But we were around 5 of us, his wife, his son, with a cousin and me. So I was thinking we're going but to a place like a park, but I discovered that we're driving to a hilly side. And now on this hill, should I call it mountain or hill, there are little sculptures, structures, like of their gods, and there they were making wishes. Like that. So they were praying to the god. Whether they were saying thank you, they came with peanuts and flowers. So I was standing in a distance, so I allowed them to, but I could see them. So he beckoned on me. He said, "Amy, come." So he said, "No, it's just, we all have the same God. You just have to make your wish. You will see it come true." So I don't know why I was out of mind to say no, because sometimes I'm soft-willed. Even if you insist, I would just say, okay, let me do it. If to just make you happy, then later I'll be angry with myself. But at this point, I said no, because I cannot do it. Maybe your God is different, but mine is a jealous God. I cannot do it. So he said, okay. He's a very simple man. He said, okay, no. If you don't want to do it, then no, it's okay. So I was standing from a distance, but when we were going back, something happened. We were seconds away. God delivered us seconds away from an accident. We know we're face to face with a truck that have lost speed because we're on a hill and the road is narrow, meandered road, narrow, and it has lost speed and it's face to face with us and it was falling. So it was sideways and we were like this under the truck. So in a seconds, in this Jeep, in a seconds, the bus drove past this accident and the lorry fell but into the valley. We just heard before behind us, boom, the loud sound. You know, we were seconds away from this accident. Then after, when we drove in front and the car now had to stop in a little space, we were just looking at the scene again, the scenery. And people were, because there were other cars from a distance, they came and stopped at that the same spot. And everybody was shouting because they know that everyone in that truck must have is gone. They don't know anyone could survive this. But I was just thinking, I said, God, so if this should have happened, if this should have been my last moment, just minutes away from me worshiping or praying to, you can imagine. So from that point, I learned my lesson. That's things about God. We don't have to joke about it. We don't have to play about it. So it's from these, we should know, I'm still beckoning on us, believers, Christians, we should know that times are changing. We should know that times are changing. This is not the time for us. Other religions, they are coming up with their backup plans. It seems as if it's only us that we are left out of this picture. Other religions are coming up with their backup plans in order to populate or make their own religion very popular. But it seems as if us Christians, we are out of the picture, especially born again Christians, we are out of this picture. Instead, we are building camps to talk against these, to talk against these. This one is a real man of God. This one is a fake. This one is this. If we don't build this backup system, end time will be made up of few Christians. I'm telling you this. End time will make up of few Christians because there are times that Christians will not be able to take it. You will see that you cannot survive. And if this finance is being controlled only by this group of people, then you cannot make it there, especially for those with children. You know, sometimes you think you can handle it alone, but those with children, there will be times that you know that you cannot handle this stress anymore. You have to bow. We have to bow. If this finance is being controlled only by these some bodies, and they are making sure that they will disburse it only to those that will work according to their rules. You know, maybe Africa will be better at this end time era, because maybe you can go to your farm, you farm your farm, and you take your vegetable from your farm. You can have a personal supporting system, but abroad is different. Abroad, maybe you must rely on someone. You must rely on the banks. You must rely on a system. But if we don't work out this on time, this is our call. Is an end time era call that we have to make these structures. We have to build these structures. We have to try to control something, make up an end time plan. If not, then the end time will be made up of few Christians. Maybe things are better now. You don't realize it in your own location. You don't realize it where you are, but things are changing. Things are changing drastically, and they are making it plain to everyone. They are making it plain to you. You don't want to say this line, then you are not involved. You go out. Okay? This is like an advantage to their religion. You don't want to say this. The movie is not a religious movie, but you must go along this line. When have you ever seen a movie production that will say you must confess Christ before you are involved? We don't have system like that. We don't have system like that. Instead, we have to come up with this kind of plan. It's not easy. We cannot come up with this kind of plans if we are not united. If we are not united, this is the time. If your eyes is not open to see, maybe others, their eyes have been open to see this. If your eyes are not open to see all these things that we are making, the end time era will be made up of few Christians. They are planting the network and it's going. Maybe you have not realized it, but I've seen it so clear in these area. I've seen it so clear, and it's as if you cannot get things the same way you used to get them. You must go this way, and don't think that if you refuse to rehearse that line, then they'll call you after. No, okay, if you think you cannot say it, then no, they don't even give a second choice. You must go this way, and if you don't want to go, you leave it. If you don't want to go, so you see yourself bound down. You can even talk about the vaccine. So many people that took the vaccine is not by choice. It's because you know that you cannot cope without it. That is how maybe you're thinking is only that's how the system is changing. Okay, you are thinking that if I don't take it, then how will I travel? Okay, if I don't take it, there are even some immigrations that they say you must take it before they give you visa. You must take it before they give you visa. So you are thinking, I don't have a choice than to do this. I don't have a choice than to do this. I don't have a choice than to do this. And this is not going into finance. It's not going into finance. Maybe you have not seen it or you don't know it where you are. Hallelujah, lovely people. So maybe I'll find I think I should end here. Some other time to talk about this the more. When these director or producer, when this producer asked me to take off that picture, my eyes were red. Eyes were red not because of what he said, but because I was just thinking, if only we knew what we had. If only we knew what we had. Because even as I'm saying this, there are many people watching at me who say, but he's not God, he's not God. Yeah. These men of God out there that you see them, they are not God. And they can never be. They can never be God. I can never be God. You yourself, you can never be God. And that's why we have weaknesses. We have shortcomings. But if you know that there are certain grace, that dimensions, grace, potentials that the Lord have put upon this person, and if the person is rising, this one is rising. There's one thing that we have to know, no matter how many or how numerous church leaders and pastors are, there's one thing that will always remain. The laborers are few. You should not forget this. The laborers are few, but the harvest is much. The laborers are few. No matter how many you see them, and now I'm knowing that they are few. You especially those that will cause impact. If you see people that can leave impact, we are supposed to summon ourselves instead. Make groups, not groups to speak against, but groups to pray. Groups to pray for those people that are leaving impacts. If you see, especially for this nation, especially for this continent, if this person, especially on the Christian race, if this person is leaving an impact, then instead we need to pray. We pray because they have weaknesses. You see shortcomings because they are not God. But God have to use someone. That is the point. That is what you should know. When you're opening your mouth to say these people are not God. No, they are not God. You are not God. Remember that they are not God, but God has to use someone. And that someone can be you. That someone can be me. And if you see that God is using this person, but you are seeing a shortcoming, you are seeing a weakness, the only thing for you to do is to pray. Say, God, bring him to his senses and preserve this grace. Because if he's gone, he's gone. If he's taken away, he's taken away. There will never be anyone exactly like that person. There will never be anyone with a dimension like that person. There will never be anyone with that grace and impact like that person. It will work differently. That's why I repeat, I say spiritually we are different. We are different. No one can replace anyone in their dimension and in their grace. They can only invite you or take you to this grace side and give you part of it. And even when you start functioning, you function differently. And every grace and impact has an effect. Any grace and impact has an effect on the global plan of the Lord. And this is what should be our quest. Our quest should be the global plan of the Lord. They are not God. They themselves have not never stand anywhere and declare that they are God. Why are we insinuating that? They are not God. But remember, God has to use someone. He has to use someone. So we need to come up with a backup plan. We need to come up with a backup plan. If you see your house, pray. Pray for the end time era for Christian bodies. Because something is coming. Something is coming. And if we don't have a backup plan for finance, for prayers, the end time will be made up of few Christians. Stay blessed, lovely people. Stay blessed.